Hello and welcome to all. Today's session we'll see top 10 cursor AI interview questions for manual QA. Okay. So if in case you are working in manual QA, okay. So before we start, first I will recommend using one tool. Okay, it's not enough. Okay, if in case you want to increase your productivity, so if you use the multiple tools, then definitely your productivity will increase and that will be helpful to manual QA testing. Okay, so here I gave the recommended tools. Okay, we can use the chat GPT when we need to understand the requirements, we need to design the test cases. Okay, if you need to use the any SQL queries or bug reports, okay, then in that case we'll go ahead with the chat GPT. Okay, if in case we are using a maintenance code, okay, or we need to refactor the existing code, okay, then in that case we'll go ahead with the cursor AI. Okay, then if in case we are using browser based validation or the screenshot, okay, then web interactions, okay, then we'll go ahead with the browser MCP, okay, in cursor AI. Okay, and if in case we need to do automation, UI automation and regression, okay, with latest technology, then we'll go ahead with the playwright MCP. Okay, and if in case we have existing Selenium Java framework, okay, then in that case we'll go ahead with the Selenium MCP. Okay, and our M365 productivity, like for Outlook, for Word, Excel, PowerPoint, if in case you want to do any documentation, then we'll go ahead with the Microsoft Copilot. Okay, and if in case your organization is also using the Jira, okay, then to find out the defects, okay, then in that case we can go ahead with the Row tool. Okay, this is the Jira AI tool. Okay, so that's what, like, if in case you need to increase the productivity, okay, then don't just work only one tool, try to use multiple tools. Okay, so saying that, we'll start with the uh, first question. Okay, so how will you integrate Cursor AI into manual testing workflow? Okay, so in that case, we'll just simply say we'll use the Cursor AI to speed up the requirement analysis, test design, and documentation. Okay, but once everything is done, we need to perform a review activity also, and after that, we'll take a decision. Okay, like here I have mentioned, like example, after receiving a user story, okay, we'll ask the cursor to propose the positive, negative, and the boundary value test cases, and after that, we need to refactor or refine the test cases. Okay, next, how do you validate AI generated test cases? Okay, so we'll simply say we'll check them against the requirement, acceptance criteria, and the important thing is the domain knowledge. Okay, the next question, what are the key limitations of Cursor AI for manual QA testers? Okay, so limitation is like it may be hallucinate. Okay, so that means it will give the false positive test case as well. Okay, it will omit the edge cases or the lack business context. Okay, like here I give the one example, like if you ask the cursor AI or the any AI tool to provide the manual test cases or the scenarios for specific user story. Okay, so it may be AI suggests the login test. Okay, but misses the company specific password expiry rule. Okay, now if you see, like every password we have a expiry, okay, but again expiry rules depends on the company to company. It will miss if in case we are using the AI. Okay, so in that case our business context or the we will see the business domain knowledge, it will be useful. Okay, and next, how does effective prompt engineering improve the QA outcomes? Okay, so we need to give the clear detailed prompt, okay, which will produce the accurate and actionable result. Okay, so we need to mention the specify the feature constraint and the desired output format when requesting the test scenarios. Then you will get the accurate and actionable result. Then how can Cursor AI assist during requirements reviews? Okay, so it can summarize the requirements and identify the ambiguities or the gaps. Okay, so we'll ask it to list the assumptions and the questions for a newly drafted specification or the new requirements. Okay, then what security precautions should be followed when using the Cursor AI? Okay, so we'll, as we know, like we should not be share the confidential or regulated information without authorization. Okay, like if in case you want to use some data, okay, instead of real customer data, we can use the dummy data. Okay, and we will proceed it. Okay, So next question, can cursor AI replace the exploratory testing? Why and why not? Okay, so the answer is no. Exploratory testing relies on the human creativity, okay, experience and the observations. Okay, so a tester notices a confusing navigation flow, okay, that AI did not anticipate. So, so exploratory testing will never replace. Okay, how can cursor AI improve the defect reporting? Okay, so it's using the cursor AI, it helps a lot. Okay, it's create a defect structure like concise, reproducible, and professional bug reports. Okay, so it will create a draft report. Then it will also mention the reproduction steps expected versus actual result. Okay, and after that we can either create a defect in Zephyr. Okay, then next, how will you measure the success of adopting the cursor AI in QA? Okay, definitely. Okay, success of cursor AI in QA will track the productivity, defect quality, and the review effort. Okay, we'll compare the test design time and the defect logging and the leakage before and after the adoption of the cursor. Okay, definitely it increases the like 40 to 50% productivity. Okay, so if in case you when you not visited my earlier lecture, okay, visit it. Okay, so there I have mentioned how as a manual QA we can increase our productivity. And next, what is the ideal relationship between the manual QA expertise and the cursor AI? Okay, so here we can see first thing, AI is not replacing. Okay, it's a professional judgment. Okay, the tester uses the AI generated scenarios as a starting point and then expand coverage based on the experience and the risk analysis. Okay, so whatever the test cases once generated through like Cursor AI, okay, we need to review it. Okay, we will not use as it is. First, we need to review it as a domain expertise. Okay, and we need to add the points. Okay, and then we need to use it. We need to execute it. Okay, so that's all. Okay, if in case you have any questions or queries, please let me know. Thank you.